Hi there, Colleen Adrian here today, and talking about advocating for your kids at school. So sometimes parents need to speak up for their kids at school or advocate for them, and they wonder how to help their kids learn to do that for themselves. I think typically parents want their kids to learn to be able to speak up for themselves because it's an important life skill. And at school, it might be about something such as how to help keep them safe if they're maybe have been bullied, or if they're struggling socially, or they're not feeling safe socially for some reason. Or it might be because they have some special needs that support them with their learning in the classroom. So it might be emotional support, might be something related to their sensory sensitivities. Lots of reasons why kids might need some extra support and might need you to advocate for them. So some of the questions I hear are things like, how long should I advocate for my child at school rather than, encouraging them to speak up for themselves? Or should I keep asking the teacher for what they need, even if I'm starting to get the sense that maybe it's bugging the teacher, or I'm being a bit of a bother, or it seems like too much trouble to the teacher or the principal? Here's my perspective on that. Keep advocating for your child for as long as they need it to help them get their needs met as best you can. Okay. Because here's what you're teaching them. You're teaching them, when they sense that you're doing that for them, you're giving them an experience of knowing deep inside that their needs are important and that it's okay to ask to get their needs met. Okay. So, and we have lots of adults running around not feeling like it's okay to ask to get their needs met. So I feel like this is really important. And it's also giving them a lesson that they're worthy of having their needs met. So when will they learn to do it on their own? When they feel confident enough in themselves to speak up for themselves, they'll likely let you know, right? They'll likely say, no, I don't want you to talk to the teacher. I can handle this, or whatever, especially if they're a spirited child. So they'll typically let you know, or they will just start speaking up for themselves, and you'll know that they don't need it anymore. You're not coddling them. They do gain confidence from actually feeling your advocacy and leaning into you speaking up for them and feeling that protector role that you play for them, right? That advocating role. So they can lean into that until they feel strong enough to till they have a strong enough sense of themselves, right? That they can do it for themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. The school system and the authority of the teachers can really be intimidating for kids, right? And sensitive kids will really be able to feel and pick up on the pressure to conform. And so that's one of the reasons that this is so important. My experience is that when you've spoken up for your kids until they're ready, they do gain the confidence to speak up for themselves. And the other really beautiful thing that they learn and they start to do is they start to learn to speak up for other kids as well, and encourage other kids to speak up for themselves. So it kind of ripples outward. And I've seen that happen both with clients and in my own family with my son. One last thing I want to mention is that you can, of course, be respectful of the teacher's limitations. They might have 25 or 30 kids in their class. They have a lot of competing they have a lot of other things that they need to attend to. And I think it's still okay to keep having the conversation respectfully of the other things that they need to attend to, and keep exploring and brainstorming ways that you can support your child to get their needs met. And you can also, I wanted to mention one other thing here as well. It's also okay to help your child begin to start to learn skills for it, and practice learning ways to meet their own needs when they can, and taking baby steps towards doing that. But ultimately, I think that speaking for them until they're ready to take over for themselves is really the best way to support them to have confidence to eventually do it for themselves. Thanks for listening. I hope you found that helpful.